Good evening, Richmond, Virginia. I am Brittany O'Neill, VJ of Beyond the Music and RVA series. Tonight we are here with Paulo Franco.
It's great to have him here with us tonight, so please give a warm welcome to the tobacco stage for Paulo Franco.
Sentenced to a living hell in this lonely prison cell, doing time for a crime I didn't do. Some say I got framed, but I'm just as much to blame. In my heart is what I came here for.
My first question is actually, reading your bio, you said that you started playing guitar at age 6.
Yeah, I started taking classical lessons as a little kid. I started with the violin, and that didn't work. And then I wanted to play the drums. And of course, the death knell of any drumming career is when they bring you that little rubber pad and the 2 sticks and say, here, you can play this for a while, and then you can get the kit. So that lasted a year. And then my dad said, well, you know what, have you ever thought about playing the guitar? I said, you know, it's portable, you can take it anywhere, and girls love guitar players. So I said, sounds good to me. So that was that. So I got the guitar and started taking classical lessons. I stopped for a little while. I took lessons again for a couple of years when I was a teenager, and then stopped and just started playing by ear and playing it. I played in a band in college, and then I stopped playing for a long time. After I got divorced, I picked up my guitar again for the first time and really got back into it. And I was applying for the job at the State Bar, where I work right now at the Virginia State Bar, and they were looking for the ethics counsel there was looking for a guitar player, and he saw that on my resume, so he went to Barbara Williams, the woman who hired me, and said, forget about everybody else, hire Paulo, I need a guitar player for my band.
Wow.
So I got the job, I got the gig, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And now we're rolling forward.
What I came here for, to settle up the score, and the beating of your cheating heart. You never could be true to the one man who loved you, or the men you used to break my heart in two.
Well, okay, so what, you know, I don't know if you can remember this, but, you know, at age 6, you know, you're young, what inspired you to want to, you know, go into the musician?
You know, it's one of those things, like, I've always known since I was a little kid that, I mean, music is always, it's the most important thing. I'm very passionate about it. But I remember there's a story about the first album that I got when I was about 6 years old, and Let It Be had just come out. So my parents, or actually it was my dad, was going to get some stereo equipment. He was going to get some speakers for the apartment where my folks lived, and he took my sister and I. So we were in the store, and of course we were just a couple of little rugrats, and we were totally in his hair. And he said, look, you two, each one of you, go out and pick a record, let me get what I have to get, meet me back here at the counter, we'll pay for it, and we'll get out of here. So I walked up, and I saw Let It Be, and I saw these 4 cool dudes with long hair, and I thought, this is the coolest thing in the world, and I want this record. So I picked it out, I walked up to the counter, and then my sister walked up, and she had a Partridge Family record. So I started complaining and crying and screaming, like, no, I want a Partridge Family record, I want a Partridge Family record. My dad said, that's the one you pick, that's the one you're going to get, shut up, and we're going. And that was it. And I still have that record.
So you had good taste even before you knew it?
Before I knew it, exactly.
I know when it's time to go, but I can stay here all night if you don't want to drink alone. Sometimes everyone needs someone to help their heart believe. Come looking for me, and I'll help you free that piece of your soul in me. I'm your best strong friend.
Okay, so the band that you're in is the Rateros?
Yes.
What is that? What does that mean?
It is a Spanglish word for petty thief.
Okay. Okay, cool. Very cool. How did you come up with that?
Pedro and I came up with it. He suggested it. He says, what about Paulo, Franco, and the Rateros? I'm like, yeah, it's got a ring to it.
Definitely does, especially with Paulo in the beginning of that. I like that a lot. You came out with an album not too long ago. What's the name of it?
It's called By the Light of a Paper Moon.
By the Light of a Paper Moon. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a locally sourced and produced album. The music was all written here. I live in Woodland Heights. It was recorded not too far from Woodland Heights by Pedro Aida, who's a local musician here. It was mastered by Bob Roop, who used to play for a band called the Silos, which is one of my all-time favorite bands, and he lives like 3 blocks from me. So, I mean, that was, for me, the coolest thing.
Wow, yeah.
I loved the Silos when I was in college.
These bad memories, I'm your best strong friend, helping your suffering heart mend. In the end you will see, you depend on me, I'm your best strong friend.
So you're from Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
And when did you move to Richmond?
I actually went to law school in Richmond at U of R. I graduated in '89. I stayed around for a year. I was clerking for the Supreme Court. I went back up to Northern Virginia because that's where I had my job offers. And in 1998, I came back here, and I haven't looked back.
That's wonderful.
I really love living in Richmond.
You really do?
Yeah, to me, I mean, Northern Virginia is always going to be my hometown, but this feels like my home.
Yes, wonderful. That's awesome. And Richmond definitely does have something special to it,
it's
right?
a great place to live.
Yeah. What's something that stands out most about Richmond's music scene, do you think?
Well, the thing that stands out for me is the camaraderie, because there are a lot of great musicians in this town from different genres. I mean, there's so many people doing so many wonderful different types of music, but everybody seems to be friends, and being able to go out to on any given night to a bar where you know somebody's going to be playing and running into a half dozen people that you know, and that's to me I really feel blessed to be part of that.
Yes, it's definitely a close-knit community.
It is, and I think
everybody
that's so
supports
cool.
each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
Helping your suffering heart mend. In the end you will see, you depend on me, I'm your best strong friend.
Where can your fans find your music online, or more about you? Where can we find you?
www.peflmusic.com is my website, and then I've got links to Reverb Nation. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, the whole 9 yards, and my calendar's on there too. So if you want to come see me, that's where you'll find out.
So that's where you can check out Paulo Franco and the Rateros.
That's right.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Paulo.
Thank you, Brittany. I really do appreciate it.
I'm your best strong friend.
Thank you so much. Paulo got into playing music seriously in 2006 after having taken guitar lessons as a youth and picking up the '79 Strat that he still has. Not on him right now, but he's still got it. He formed the Rateros to focus on his original music. Paulo also plays bass with Luz del Sol and acoustic guitar for the Workhorse Blues. His other band is the Tinfoil Militia. Paulo has lived all over the Richmond area, but he hails originally from the DC area. He plays mostly originals, and he describes his music as alt-country Americana. His plans for the future include recording a second album, or an EP, and playing some out-of-town shows. It's great to have him here with us tonight, so please give a warm welcome to the tobacco stage for Paulo Franco. Thank you so much. How y'all doing tonight?